And core training is very similar, because I'm going to use similar sort of terminology, but it's going to be done in a very different way. So with regards to how the torso works, so if we're talking about fitness and performance, the core is an energy transfer unit. So if we take throwing as an example, or punching as an example, what we do is we sort of wind the muscles up. So we stretch an elastic band as we wind back. What we then do is pop the hip, pop forward, and then when the hip pops forward, we want to take the shoulder with it, and the power that comes from the hip gets transferred up through the core, down the arm, and out of the punch, or the kick, or the throw, or whatever it may be. So the core needs to be an energy transfer unit. And how it does that is by stiffening at the right time, so all of that energy can go up through the torso and out through the arm. If the hip comes through and the shoulder doesn't, and then it follows it through, there is what is known as an energy leak. That is some of the energy that's created here, gets leaked out of the torso, and then that slows down and weakens what happens at the arm, or at the fist, or whatever it may be, at the foot, at the leg. So that, from a performance perspective, is how the core works. From a health perspective, it's there to hold the spine nice and stable. So when we go into different positions, the muscles are working at the right time to be able to lock on and hold position. So that means being able to maintain proper position of the spine, move from the hips, move from the shoulders. What we also need to do is we need to be able, from an exercise perspective, is we need to start integrating the muscles together. Now, when we integrate the muscles together, we can do that in a number of ways, but what I'm going to do is show you some separate exercises and then basically bring them together. So we would come down into a plank and we would hold there. We can also come up into a side plank and hold here. Now, those exercises in isolation are doing similar things to what the sit-up and the twist would do. If we can then come into this plank, lift an arm, and roll up to the side, what we've done here is when we go into the plank, it will concentrate itself at the front of the abdominals. When we lift an arm up and put it on the back, it will move out to here, because this side has to work that much harder to be able to hold the hip and the torso in place. When we then roll up into the side plank, it will then transfer from that side all the way down into that side. And this is how you integrate the core muscles and make the abdominal wall, not the rectus abdominis and the obliques. So what we need to be able to do is we need to start using the static exercises to get the positions first, get the proper postures. Then we start needing to lift arms and rotate to be able to shift the load around the torso depending on where we want to go and where we are. So when it comes to the plank, it would be here. It would be here where it's concentrated in the middle. When we lift an arm up, it comes out here. And when we come up into the side plank, it comes down here. So we would go to there. Then we would come back down. We would go the other way. So it's over this side. Then I come up into a side plank. It goes onto this lower side. This is how we integrate muscles into one unit. That doesn't happen when you do abdominals, twists, side bends, whatever it may be. That's just an assumption. If we can get this position, if we can get lifting limbs up and changing how muscles need to work, and then using, rotation to be able to shift the load around the torso, that's much more effective training for the spine, for performance, and that is what core training really looks like.